What's up, y'all? We are live. First ever public live stream on this channel. I've done about 50,000 tests. Should work pretty good. What do y'all think of the camera quality? Leave me a comment down below. So this is going to be not the 100th video, but maybe the 98th, I think, 99th. By the time I split it up into little clips, we're going to be well over 100 videos this week. So that means I'm going to go out on a limb tonight and just have a little bit of fun reading some comments, and we'll see what happens. I'm a little on edge because this is kind of a new format for me, so bear with me. Let me know if there's any technical difficulties or any issues with the sound, because I have no idea. I'm doing the stream. I'm not watching it. So anyway, little bit about where most of these comments are going to be coming from. So I did a video on the Surviving R. Kelly docu-series from the Lifetime Network. And so a lot of the comments are from that video because that video just went mega viral, I guess. Well, at least compared to some of my other content. So we're going to be talking a little bit about R. Kelly, but I have some other stuff to talk about as well. And I don't know, hopefully some of this is mildly entertaining or mildly amusing. And without further ado, let's get over here into the screen capture and take a look at some of you guys' beautiful, insightful, hilarious, awesome comments. Just give me about 1 second here to move over to the laptop. All right, here we go. So this is the video. It's called Surviving R. Kelly, The Twisted Truth. Go watch it if you haven't seen it already. Not a hateful video, not a mean video, not an angry video. Just a fun little romp through the R. Kelly drama. And as you can see, only a few months ago here, it's about 100K. And we've got some really cool comments here. I've already written this little thing here. I did all original music in this video, but let's face it, not too many people are going to be watching this for the music, although the music is banging. So we've got some kind of short little kind of sassy comments here, but I kind of wanted to look at some of these more substantive remarks here. So first thing, just to reiterate this R. Kelly stuff, he's kind of going through some legal issues at the moment, and yeah, I'm just sort of providing an alternate take as an R&B musician, as a guy who's played R. Kelly's music. I feel like I'm not super into him, but you know, some of these people clearly are. So I don't know. I feel like everybody's entitled to their own opinion on this stuff, and I have no disrespect or hate for anybody just because they have a different opinion here. So Brandy Ellis, which I believe is the most liked comment here. So a lot of people agreeing with Miss Ellis here. So first thing she says here, it has nothing to do with color. All right, so for me that's just really refreshing to hear, just because, like, can we get to a point in our culture where we can talk about real issues and root causes rather than this kind of skin deep stuff, this sort of identity stuff. It's just like, and so listen what she says here. People keep making about color because we're black, you know. I know as women we need to hold ourselves accountable. Look at that. That's awesome. This is like, getting a comment like this makes me sort of, I don't know why my screen's going weird. Getting a comment like this absolutely restores a small percentage of my faith in humanity here. Let's see what else she says. It's about lack of self-esteem, not knowing your worth, not being sensible. Everyone knows R. Kelly has problems. Well, some people in this comment section would disagree with you. Beyond psychological repair for various reasons, but we have to admit that she wanted to do it, or they wanted to do it. And that's kind of the main point that I'm making in this video. It's like, how many years do you let the stuff go on and on and on and on? And, now you're doing a documentary. And it's like, well, we've been over that. So they feel special because they chose her. And Brandy is saying, admit it. Be honest. Own up to it. We're taught as children, the first sign of danger or harm: yell, scream, kick, go to authorities. Not lifetime. Exactly. All right. So this is why the title of my video was, the title was Surviving the Twisted Truth. But the thumbnail that I made has a very funny text in it. And let's see if it'll come up here. Where would that be? Oh, there it is, right there. Oh, cool. Somebody made a playlist. Whoops. This is Zoom. Come on, Safari. Get your stuff together here. So there's the thumbnail right here. And it says R. Kelly sucks, but Lifetime is worse. All right. So this is the thumbnail. And I guess I did a pretty good job on this thumbnail. It's R. Kelly, all snotty nosed and crying and whimpering on the side. But yeah, nothing fancy. Just some text, some red text. Some orange accents there. The Lifetime, and yeah. And so my point is that R. Kelly, have your whatever opinion you want, but Lifetime, I think, is worse for profiting off of people's distress and abuse allegations and all that. And not only that, but these nice young ladies here are doing interviews on other stations and probably getting book deals and all this kind of stuff. So it just it cheapens it a little bit, I think. So go to authorities, not Lifetime. ABC, NBC, BET. All right. So the truth of the matter is, we've all known since the Aaliyah marriage. And you guys can go look that up for yourself. Aaliyah was she was quite young when they were married. But yeah, I'm not here to argue with people. It's just a fact. I'm not mad at you if you disagree. So if you're unaware, let's see, she has more. If you're unaware, the tape, right? Clearly he likes younger or naive women, and it's not to disrespect these women. Exactly, right? Like what but Brandy hates women because she wants them to be accountable. She wants them to have self-esteem. She wants them to know their worth, be sensible. She wants them to make a big deal and not put up with this stuff. And I think any self-respecting woman would agree with that. So, don't disrespect them in any way, but we have to be responsible. We have to know who we are, period. And like bingo, right there. Absolutely. So I really liked this comment. I liked it. A lot of other people did. I put a little heart on it there. I'm just glad to see people actually engaging with ideas rather than just being emotional and trying to shift blame and start a bunch of extra drama and try to ruin a guy's career when, he went to court and he was exonerated at the tape type thing. I don't want to say any suggestive language here because Mama YouTube is gonna bring the sword of Wajikicles down on me. So nothing to do with again. So another person agrees here. You was accepting the money and gifts. Now you're making money after he stopped paying you. Well, I don't know if they were paying or whatever, but gifts, sure. For real. She's a horrible human. So some of these people go a little far with it. And I think, some people may come to this video and not the best video in the world. They might be scrolling down, bored, reading comments, and think that I just automatically agree with everybody commenting here, and I don't. Everybody's entitled to their own thing. And the point that I'm making in this video is very nuanced, and again, I'm not going to get back into that. So they wanted his money. Let's find some more. Don't keep bringing your children into that environment. You know, not smart. Why do you still have his last name? And, and so, like I said, these people can think whatever they want, and I'm very amused by this. I don't want to get into a flame war with these guys. I replied back to a couple of them. Um, really, the only comments I really reply to that sort of get on my nerves is when people don't understand the point that I made in the video, or they didn't watch the whole video, or they read the first half of the thumbnail that says R. Kelly sucks, and they didn't read the second half of the thumbnail, and so they're misconstruing what I actually think. It's like get out of my head. Like, you don't know what I think, but you can think whatever you like. But how'd you like this name here? What is that? It looks like something maybe Indian. It's kind of interesting. Chimamandanada. Okay, call you Chim for short. So Chim agrees with me 100%. Coming from a woman who's actually been had something happen to her, right? She would never go on TV, to bash him, to promote. She wants to promote change. She doesn't want to repeat the story over and over and over. It's like you're cashing in on this like horrible, alleged horrible abusive stuff, and I think for my job as a musician, as an artistic kind of guy, content creator, I want to look at these issues in a little bit of a different light and see if we can get some positive, something positive out of it. Let's see if I can come to any kind of big point here that I can go back to the other screen. Spinning facts of women lying. They doing too much. 17, and yes, 17 is the age in Illinois. Case of women scorned, gotten their heart broken. Now they're doing what women do best, right? Okay. Like I said, some of these people go a little far with it. Let's see what we got. Lied about their age. So you'll just by going to this comment section, you'll get a lot of really like nuanced little side points and little details about this story that you're probably not going to hear on the mainstream news. Here's some nuance for you. The minors, he should be in jail, but everybody guilty. Like I agree with no one. There you go. Not a monster. It doesn't have hostages. So this will bring me to kind of a point here. Some of these people commenting here are not going to listen to any single piece of evidence that says something negative about R. Kelly, and yeah, I don't know. This might be a good topic to jump back to FaceTime here for a minute and get up close and personal with y'all. So I'm gonna switch it back over here. Give me one little half second. All right, I'm back. So, as I was saying, some people are just not going to accept any piece of information. And what I find interesting about this is that these folks are clearly sort of out of the box thinkers. They're clearly people who are trying to push back against something. They see the Lifetime documentary, they see the root and the articles and the news coverage and the court cases and the spoofs, the Dave Chappelle stuff and Mad TV stuff, and they don't want to um, they don't want to believe that their idol, their favorite artist, their favorite singer, they just don't want to believe that this guy can do anything wrong. And it's a really interesting mindset to me because I'm kind of a similar mindset. If I see everybody on TV telling me, all right, A equals B, all right, A equals B, A equals B. No, I don't need to prove that A equals B. It does. Like, just take my word for it, right? I'm the kind of guy that will push back on that and say, well, what if A doesn't equal B? What if it actually equals C or X or Q? Um, so there's a level of not accepting the dogma and not accepting the propaganda and the main narrative that these guys clearly believe in. And I admire these folks because I don't know how the court case is going to turn out. I don't know if he's guilty or if he's not, or if he did the things that are alleged, or if he didn't, or if he did some of them, or like I just don't know. So I can't really make a judgment on that. But these people take it a step further. Not only do they reject the narrative, but they are creating their own narrative to kind of fight back, to kind of hit back a little bit. And I find that really interesting. Now, in my personal opinion, I think these guys are probably a little bit misguided. I think they might be a little bit starstruck. I think they might, they're unable to separate the art from the artist. And so this art is this great pure thing. So therefore, the artist must be as well. And I'm a firm believer in, go and read some of the autobiographical information about some of your favorite musicians from the 70s, 80s, from the now, whenever. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has their little quirks. Now, this is why I made the second video, if you didn't see it. I actually did a sequel to the Lifetime video where we talked about some of the background historic information with R. Kelly's upbringing. And so this is really what blew my mind out the back of my head and made me question a lot of the things, a lot of the assertions that I made in the first video, in the Twisted Truth video. Because if you read a little bit into this guy's past, you'll find that he wasn't treated very well as a child. Neither was his brother. And I don't think both of them would make this up, and so it kind of checks out. It corroborates there. Now, here's what's interesting about this. R. Kelly was, I don't want to use certain words. R. Kelly was, let's say, he was forced to do things that he didn't want to do as a child by his sister, all right? And his sister was also protected by the mother. And so what's interesting, later on in life, when asked about this, R. Kelly says, oh, he loves his sister, he loves his mother, a great respect for them. And actually, it was probably a good thing that they did this to him, because he learned a lot, and he was acquainted with the darker side of humanity, and it was really a learning experience in all this kind of stuff, right? So it's like he's unable to see them as being impure, as having made a mistake. And so you have this, what is it, the syndrome? I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyway, people sympathizing with their abusers, right? The victims sympathizing with their captors or their whoever. Stockholm syndrome. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you. Live video shoot, guys. Live. So Stockholm syndrome. It's interesting how R. Kelly, unable to see the evil that was done to him by his family, and you have now his fans unable to see the alleged evil that he's being accused of with these women. So it's just, the cycle continues, and it's like even though these people, his fans might never even meet R. Kelly, that cycle has been passed on, and as a celebrity, it gets expanded in sort of this viral fashion, and it just goes out into the world. I don't believe R. Kelly ever processed and realized what was done to him as a child, which probably informs some of the behaviors that he continues to engage in, which I'm not going to get into specificity with. Um, However, I just find it interesting that you have a similar mindset going on with the commenters, his fans, and R. Kelly himself. But you know what's my point here? I guess it would be this: you have to separate the art from the artist, and just because you've acknowledged that somebody's not perfect and that humans are flawed, we're in a fallen state, we all make mistakes. Um, that doesn't mean that you're not allowed to be his fan. It doesn't mean you have to cancel R. Kelly. It doesn't mean you have to brigade him on Twitter and Facebook and get his website shut down and get his tour dates canceled and get his album taken off the shelves. It doesn't mean that. You can have two things that exist at the same time. So you can love R. Kelly's music. I like a lot of his songs. I like a lot of the production in a lot of his songs. He's got great gospel music. He's got great R&B and kind of jazzy stuff. But in my mind, as long as his proclivities are not bleeding over into his productivity as a musician, as an artist, I don't have any problem with other people wanting to buy his albums or listen to his music. I do, however, find it interesting to see the type of people who are buying his album are usually the same type of people who are doing the brigading and doing the virtue signaling online, posting about how wrong it is and how bad this guy is and how we got to get him kicked off. And usually the same type of folks who are buying this guy's music, as we saw I think 20% spike in his album sales when the Stocky series came out. So it's just kind of interesting putting all into perspective here. I don't know how the court case is going to go. I don't really care. I've already made my videos on this. I am praying to God that I never have to make another video about this guy, because I have nothing but positivity to put out into the world towards all these people commenting towards R. Kelly and his team and whatever. I have heard that there was some fishiness going on with his record label and his deal, and so this kind of brings me to kind of a tangent here. Doesn't have anything to do with the Stockholm syndrome. We'll leave that over here. But I did hear that there was some fishiness going on with his label, and somehow or another he ended up not owning his catalog. So if in the event that there is a great brigade against R. Kelly and a great movement to cancel him, that's not going to be too hard for people because he doesn't even own his own stuff. They can flip a switch and knock him down like that. So I just don't see the point of all the arguing, but I do admire the folks who question the narrative, even though what they're saying might not be based in fact. That's irrelevant to me. I just appreciate the argument. I appreciate the engagement, and I appreciate every single person's comment on here. Even the people that leave me a comment that says, "Hey, R. Kelly doesn't suck. He's awesome, and you're a mean guy for making this video." I'm not a mean guy. I don't hate anybody. I'm not angry at anybody. I find it annoying when you watch these interviews with The Root and you watch these documentaries on Lifetime. I find it very annoying that they want to discuss the issue up to a point and then bam, they put a cap on it. And it's like, well, you can't get to any of the actual deep issues here. So there's no possibility of actually being accountable and looking inward, doing that self-assessment like Brandy was commenting about. Whoops. there's no point that you can get to that point because they've capped it. They've said, well, we're the mainstream news, and guess what? Here's what we want you to know about this story, and that's it. And R. Kelly is a bad guy, and he's a man, and all men are bad, and so R. Kelly is a great example of that. And with these women are victims, and all women are being oppressed by all men. It's just they leave it at this very zoomed out, very, I think, misguided, misinformed uh, uh, view that they want to put out. Maybe they think that that's what's going to get people to submit and be submissive and just accept what they're told. I don't know, but just from looking at these comments, it seems like most people that watch this video, like the vast majority of them, either they agreed with me in the sense that maybe he did stuff, maybe he didn't. But here's the real important issue that we should be talking about. They either agree with me on that, or they disagree with me on that, and they think, well, no, R. Kelly's totally innocent. But they still agree with me on the point that the narratives that were being fed on the cable stations are not correct, and they're kind of lazy and kind of just doing that to get in our heads and control our thoughts. So I applaud every single person who left a comment on this video, whether they agreed with every single thing I said or not. Like I said, that's not important to me. That doesn't do me any favors for my ego. What my ego loves is to have the conversation. And so that's kind of what this video is. And, I don't know, haven't made a lot of R. Kelly type content. I did try to do the sequel, but YouTube just had a major algorithm change at that time. And it was also maybe just not as good of a video. I don't know. I think it's called Monster or Martyr. R. Kelly, Monster or Martyr. I'm a big fan of like alliteration with the M's and the little wordplay and stuff, and it kind of has a nice ring to it. But anyway, let's take a look at maybe, I don't know, a couple more comments, and then I'm getting out of here because it's already late and nobody's in the chat, nobody's tuning in anyway, so might as well wrap it up here in a second. I'm going to move back over 1 nanosecond. All right, we're back. Here we go. Another year goes by. Another year goes by. Now they cry and want camera time. Yep. Ain't about the money. What's it about? It's a conspiracy. Everybody like what? They like R. Kelly, like younger females. So talk about some new. This is so 20 years old. Next topic. Yeah, amen to that. Here's another one I liked here. All they did was put R. Kelly back on the map. He needed someone to talk about him because his music wasn't. See, I'm just laughing. Again, these people take it a little far, but it's funny to me. These people should be allowed to take it places. They should be allowed to think and push the line a little bit, push the barriers a little bit. Express yourself, guys. That's what this video is there for. I have found that the majority of our community normalizes abuse, trauma, and criminal activity. Okay? I'm not here to agree or disagree with that. The engraved mindset in the community I've experienced, don't want to get flagged here, Mama YouTube will come down, was to accept demoralizing relationships and environments. Okay, that's interesting. Behaviors were passed on from generation to generation, being more and more filtered and corrected in order for change and an awakening to occur. Why don't I just, here, let's, come on. Up, whoop, almost, up, almost, there we go. Okay, great. Maybe a little up. Okay. Um, yeah, thank God. Here's the thing. Parents may not have known how else to handle it. I think they're talking about the parents of the young ladies in the video, right? Parents may not have known how else to handle it. Because the majority of the communities I've experienced don't handle illegal or severe injustice by involving the law. This is true. Snitches get stitches, right? We become the law with aggression at times. You stated all he's doing is the parent is praying and doing a documentary. Um, well, yeah, that is kind of what he's doing. The fact that this guy is showing emotion, speaking up against moral injustice, is growth. Yeah, I agree, and I'm pretty sure I gave him some props for that in this video. But if I didn't, that's my bad. I think I started out with about 2.5 hours of audio, and I did cut it down. But yeah, my issue with the guy here is not that he's not speaking up, right? My issue with the guy is that he said something about the daughter was 18, 19, 20, 21. It was like 5 years or something before he finally spoke up. So absolutely, this is definitely growth. But if it takes you 5 years of like not seeing your kid, and you don't know, maybe the guy was an R. Kelly fan. Maybe he's like, oh, I'm a lucky guy. But you don't know. You don't know what's going through people's minds. But again, I'm allowed to have whatever opinion I want. So, praying is a survival tool, and faith is belief. Yeah, yes, absolutely, yes. I applaud people who are speaking up. Talk therapy, cognitive therapy. All right, we're getting a little wordy here, a little word salady. Uh, I conclude with the utmost respect of your opinion and great points in this matter. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you writing such a well thought out comment. Seriously, yeah, for sure. The true bigger picture is the exposure of abuse to promote healing. Yes. All right. This is exactly why I had to make the sequel video. This is exactly why I had to do that. Because this video is like this first one, I kind of asked questions, and I got all of this amazing feedback from all these people, and people of all different colors, people of all different ages. I could show you all my analytics and show the exact racial demographic and the exact age demographic of the thousands of people that watch this video, and I could say, oh well, it's mostly this, but it's all different people. Even if people are the same color, they think differently. They act differently. Even if people are the same age, they have different levels of experience. So, in my opinion here, like you said, the color aspect of it is not the important thing here. It's the actual act. It's the actual like physical, like what it is that you do and what it is that you say, and promoting healing and exposing this stuff. Yes, yes. Okay. Healing that I was equipped to survive and be a part of. Sure. And I've commented this to a few people before. I'm in the DMV. It's very diverse here, and there's a lot of different communities. And some communities are they're more there's more crime going on in certain neighborhoods, certain parts of town. There's bigger, wealthier people, and people that have been married for 80 years in other parts of town. So it's not about demonizing people. It's not about ganging up on them and being angry and being full of vitriol and hate. That's not what it's about here. And this comment speaks exactly to that. It's about healing. Now they're talking about one community here. I think anybody watching this video, or especially the sequel, because I think the sequel blows this video away. But anybody watching either of these videos, I think it's important to keep that in mind, and that you're all going to be blasted with this divisive, angry, inflammatory, like falseness on the mainstream cable type stuff. And YouTube is also blasting people with that because people are mad that they're seeing guys like me, and they're seeing indie artists, and they're seeing smaller channels and smaller creators. People don't want to see that. They're angry at that. So now everybody's trying to get YouTube to only show people CNN and ABC, CBS, Stephen Colbert, I guess Lifetime, this kind of stuff. But I appreciate people thinking out of the box here. Here we go. Talking about an age-old problem of abuse and saying they need psychological help. Wow, we just won. Congrats to the next generation who will trust in God in his many avenues of healing, therapy, unity, and exposure. Certain kinds of exposure. But again, what do I know? I'm just an alleged broken, thirsty, crazy woman who believes in the possibility of change occurring in the hearts of all who endured this war zone. Okay, I don't know if I'd call it a war zone. I really wouldn't. Like I said, DMV. There's a lot of really like huge affluent areas here. So I wouldn't. If you're in certain spots, local areas, sure, war zone. If you're in the south side of Compton, or if you're on Pratt Street in Baltimore, sure, war zones, absolutely. But I don't think that's the community. Again, I can't say certain things because this stream is going to get flagged. They have little computers that type out all your words, and if you flag certain phrases, they're going to suppress you. So be careful with that, yo. But I don't think it's a war zone overall. Hashtag heal. Yes. Amen. There we go. Here we go. All right. This guy don't got no say in this. What about the other children fans? These people always trying to redirect our opinions after they see we woke to what's going on. He is trying to bury R. Kelly, but in a slick way. Well, thanks for calling me slick. And by the way, my name is in the channel. You don't have to call me this, XYZ color guy. Little bit insensitive there, man, but I can take it. So, here's my opinion on this. This guy obviously did not watch this whole video. Clearly did not. Because I'm not trying to redirect anybody's opinion here. I think if I was trying to do that, you wouldn't find that majority of people in this comment section agreeing with me, or at least up to the point that the main narrative is not true. And so I'm not trying to bury R. Kelly. And I said that multiple times. In fact, I said it within the first 5 minutes of the video, and I repeated it multiple times. So it's not about burying anybody. This is about I'm allowed to think whatever I want, and so are you. And if you think the percentage of melanin in my skin has anything to do with how my brain operates and how I'm questioning narratives, I'm questioning mainstream dogma, just like you are, man. Just like you are. I'm on your side. I'm on your team. I don't have my own little crew that I'm my own little like philosophy that I'm trying to impose on people. I don't. My philosophy is people are allowed to have their own philosophy, and I've made that very clear. So, again, appreciate the calling me slick there, but no slickness going on here. Yeah, well, I mean, Maybe I'll do a quick thing on this. Give me a second. All right. So this whole like, oh, you're trying to be slick and you're trying to be mean to my favorite singer. Um, no, there's no slick this. There's no trickery here. I'm literally on camera on my first ever live stream, talking directly to you guys, uncut, unfiltered, unedited. Um, and hopefully I get like better at this and I could do more of these in the future. But yeah, this is totally there's no barrier here. There's no secret agenda. There's no dog whistle. There's no secret language. Okay, and in fact, I have to avoid a lot of language just to have my video played on this platform. So really, I'm not even allowed to think certain things and be a part of the YouTube community. So where like I just I think people want to demonize somebody, and that's all it comes down to. And I want to reiterate again that I really do applaud this guy, and I would love to have a beer with this dude and talk to him about this. And dude, like if you're watching, hit me up. The MV, like I said. But it's about questioning the narrative, and I appreciate your willingness to push back and disagree. And like I don't think like what you're doing is trying to guess what I'm thinking instead of actually listening to what I said. You're getting distracted by some sort of superficial feature that is supposed to be some kind of some sort of really deep analysis that just gives you this insight. It just gives you this like amazing crystal ball ability. You're like Mewtwo. You could just like warp into my brain, and you know exactly what I'm thinking and what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I mean, I have my opinions on this case, but I I think it has more to do with the abuse and the cycle of psychological, physical abuse, and having a strong family bond. And again, that's not to insinuate anything at all. That's that's just my opinion, and we've just read a bunch of comments of other people who agree with that. So, in fact, you're the outlier here, my friend, Dre. Yeah, most people don't agree with you. Let me see how many likes did that get? Okay, that got 6 likes. So six people agree with you, and there's some replies there I might look at too. Um, but people seem to think there's some kind of agenda here. No, I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude. I'm just a musician. I have to play the guy's music. That's literally the extent of my connection with R. Kelly. Um, and as a musician, I think the guy's super talented. I don't. In fact, I explicitly stated not only in this video but in the second video that I don't want to see him ruined. I don't want to see his music career ended. And in the second video, we watched a video of a very bright woman who was kind of assessing the situation, kind of talking about what was she saying? She was making a point about his CBS interview, right? And she was the one saying that that there's some kind of problem that R. Kelly has with talking to women, and he's threatened by a woman in a dominant role, talking about Gayle King, the interviewer, and she was making this point of like, oh, R. Kelly's this real bad guy, and we should think about who we listen to and all. And I specifically pushed back against her and disagreed with her. And the main reason why is not because I want to go 100% in one direction or another. The main reason I disagreed with this lady, I forget her name now, not Gayle King, but there was another lady that did like an analysis in the Monster or Martyr video. So I'm not going to go rehash that. You can go watch that video. But I push back against this vehemently because the way she put forth her argument was like this. Here's a completely implausible thing. Here's an opinion that I have. Here's a speculation that I have. And oh, by the way, there's something weird going on with all of these thousands of women going to buy his album after they've seen this documentary. So there might be something to that, but probably not. He's probably just an evil, terrible guy. And I push back against her because I don't think that's true. I don't think that it's I don't think that you're being upfront by telling your personal opinion and your kind of skewed vision of the story, and then you drop one little crumb, one little sprinkle of the truth, the root cause, just a little sprinkle, and then you say, well, it's probably not that. So you're poisoning the well, you're straw manning. So many logical fallacies in that. But it's not about the logic of it. It's about the fact that I instantly knew that she was holding back certain information that might paint R. Kelly as a victim. And so that's why the sequel was Monster or Martyr. And he's not one or the other. He's a little bit of both. And, I empathize with that. I absolutely sympathize with that. I'm not going to get into reasons, but I've seen it. It's happened to very close friends of mine, similar type of circumstances, and we'll just leave it at that. But I have no hate or disrespect against this guy. I just would like him to back up his argument with something a little deeper than, oh, well, you're this XYZ color, and so therefore you are thinking this. It doesn't hold. It's not true. And I don't know. You're entitled to think whatever you want. And by all means, leave as many negative, hateful, prejudicial comments as you wish. And I will read every single one of them. And if it's still pretty funny and still kind of clever, I'll still like it and reply back to you. But this one just seems a little bit, it's a little bit empty. But this is the reason why I'm doing the reaction over here is because there's a few different comments that kind of sort of echo this kind of sentiment. And yeah, y'all can think whatever you want, but I'm the guy sitting here creating hours and hours and hours, in fact 100 videos totaling probably well over 50 to 100 hours of absolutely 100% free content, purely for your entertainment and your enjoyment. And I'd like to feel that I'm on everybody's side, whether you disagree or not. I try to provide a little bit of something different, and you don't have to agree. That's the whole point. Like, I think people get conditioned when they're watching all of this cable news. They're watching all of this propaganda, this dogma. They're watching it over and over and over and over. They get conditioned to think this way. And so, oh, a correlation just it is causation now. But yeah, I'm pushing back slightly, but I don't have any I don't have any negativity towards the guy. I'm pretty grounded and pretty confident that yeah, not not trying to brainwash you guys. I'm sitting right here. If you got a problem, you can talk to me directly instead of saying, "Oh, well, that guy," But whatever. It was 5 months ago, so he's probably not even. Probably didn't even have an account anymore. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting into it now. I might do one more. Let's see. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to take a second to uh, get a nice sip of this delicious Angry Orchard apple cider here. Anyway, let's look at some of these replies. Let's see see how people that agree with this crazy guy. All of the Schweit, what needs to stay out of people business. They do not like us. They only want your business so they can something to talk about. Um, well, um, lolly, get your adverbs here, I guess. But yeah, I just I don't see what the pigment has to do with what we're talking about here. But anyway, uh, refer to some of the actual comments here, or just watch the video because it looks like you didn't watch it. Yeah, the problem they waited until they were women to call themselves victims. Okay, so just here's the thing. Like, I'm not going to read every single thing here. People are thinking about this. They're not just watching the TV and believing it. They're thinking. This is why we love YouTube. This is why we love these platforms, because it gives us an outlet. It gives us an alternative to the mainstream. To like there's what the higher ups and the executives and the head producers and investors and CEOs they're putting millions and millions of dollars into television networks, like old school dinosaur media companies, and they're they're doing that because they have an agenda. They're the ones that want your business, and clearly, guys like this or ladies like this, you're you're continuing to give them your business, and I'm not a part of that crew. All right, like I said, regardless of the pigment, I'm not in that club. All right, I never got my invitation. So, like I said, I appreciate people thinking outside of the box with me on this. And here's somebody totally agree with this assessment. And if you notice, there's a lot of women in here. This is a very women-centric story. I think it's why it's such a big story, because women like to talk about stuff. They like to, explain things and think out loud and discuss things. And I mean, these comments are just glorious. I believe I could fly over prison walls. Like, I know I replied to this guy. Yeah, I need some more of these hilarious, snarky comments on my other videos. Everybody's so freaking serious. Yeah, like, does it have to be that serious? Like, come on. Let's see. What was this? Somebody had a weird one up here. Why don't you make a video about Keith Rainier? Because I don't know who that is. Like, is that an R&B singer? Like I said, I'm a R&B guy. I'm a jazz, soul, blues R&B guy. So if that's not an R&B artist, I'm probably not gonna hear about it and know about it. But I don't know. Dude, send me a link. Send me a video. I don't just do entertainment drama. This is only a small portion. But this is where most of the comments come from. So you got it. You see it. Okay. So somebody here thinks that it has to do with something a little bit deeper here. Old traits, money, greedy folks. I will be an R. Kelly fan. You're totally entitled to be a fan of whoever you like. And let's see all the other people fighting them. Let's see. Well, okay, I'm gonna close that back. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Let's find a good one to end it on here. This was perfect. I think that kind of sums up this whole thing. I mean, look at these. There's two sides to every story. A glimpse of the other side. And Emmanuel, you can think what you want. Take your glimpse and do whatever you want to do with it. So yeah, I mean, these just keep going on and on and on. I mean, my phone was like consistently vibrating with YouTube alerts for like 2 straight weeks. But yeah, this is a good video. Like the fact you have an opinion, didn't push it on your viewers. Thank you. Somebody that actually watched the video. I appreciate that. Yeah, newsflash, it's not going to be the last time you see these women get treated bad by a man. Yeah. And so, there's just so much depth here. You are crazy. Yep. That one I can agree with there too. Let's hit a like on that. You are the first person I have heard reflecting my thoughts on R. Kelly and these women. Okay, so this is a big point here, and you know what? Let's go ahead and end it on this, because I have other videos and other comments and stuff. If we go to let's see, go to my channel here, just before we wrap it up. There's my thingy. So there's some clips from the podcast, bunch of music, bunch of playlists, remixes, bass jam, lecture type, skit type sketch, speaking videos, more jam sessions, more music. So there's the sequel, by the way, right there. And so, by the way, this thumbnail here, I thought it was going to be a little bit more provocative than it was, as you can see by the view count. But this is what I interpret the mainstream media is portraying this guy as. All right, this is their portrayal. This is not my opinion. This is a cartoon. This is a very badly photoshopped cartoon. So there's humor here. There's nuance, and it's not so serious. If you can relax a little bit and kind of poke some fun at yourself once in a while, you'll find that you get to the truth a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently. And that's all we're trying to do here, guys. Go remix. Like I said, DMV, lots of go on this channel. Lots of piano, lots of keyboards, Rhodes, organ, synthesizer, and yeah. So that's the channel. Where I don't think I have a video count here, but I think this is video number 98 or 99. So I'm gonna go back to looky see FaceTime, and we're going to wrap it up here. All right, so that was fun, right? For all of the one person watching right now. Um, I'm gonna be doing a lot more live stuff in the future, so hopefully some of y'all will tune in, and maybe we can keep this conversation going. Because I just love talking about music and musicians, regardless of what topic. Like every topic is kind of connected, and one thing can lead into another thing. So while my main focus is, of course, the music, um, I'm like totally down with venturing into philosophy, a little bit of entertainment news. Um, so that's what it's all about. It's you know I'm looking for the feedback. I'm looking for the conversation and the back and forth with the audience. I don't care what color, shape, size, age, how much money you make. I don't care. A lot of people in the higher ups in the dinosaur media, they care. They're gonna put a view on that out there. That's not where my view resides. I'm looking for the deeper thing. I'm looking for the thing that's hiding under the spin, under the propaganda, under the I guess attempted mind control. Um, but reading comments like that, most of them, right, absolutely restores my faith in humanity. Um, because people are questioning things. People are looking for the truth. They're trying to find what's right. They're not trusting because they have a gut feeling. And more every day, people are being tricked with neuro-linguistic programming and advertisements and little sneaky news stories that are really advertisements, but they're just ads, but they're portrayed as factual, objective news. All of this stuff is slamming people right in their frontal cortex. And the reason why I'm so like just delighted to read these comments, regardless of what the people actually say, what the content is, um, I'm delighted because it makes me feel like I'm not alone, like I'm not totally off base, totally misguided here. And that some of those last few comments that we read, these folks were kind of saying the same thing. Wow, finally somebody said the thing that I've been thinking this whole time. Somebody who's not afraid to go out on a limb and just say it and let the chips fall where they may. I try to have a pretty thick skin, and your little poorly worded, a bad grammar comment it's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to have a chuckle at it and try to find something positive in it. But this is why the dinosaur news is flailing their arms. They're sinking. They're gasping for air because we know the truth and we have ways of finding that out and confirming that now. It didn't used to be like that. We used to have one source for all of our information, And now there's a bajillion different sources, and another bajillion different sources over here that have alternate views to those sources, and another bajillion sources over here. So you get my point. These guys are freaking out, and so they don't want you all to think this deeply about things. They don't want you all to actually have your own opinion. They want y'all to fall in line and agree, and nod your head along with whatever they say, whatever they do, and buy the products that they advertise. And that's really their only goal, because without that paid product placement, you're not they're not going to survive for much longer anyway. So you see why they're attacking the advertisers on YouTube. They're attacking the advertisers on all these other platforms. But I digress. We're going to end it there. We're going to put a pin in this. New podcast starting out. More videos this week. I'm going to kind of clip this into little happy little segments if I find anything in here that's useful or entertaining at all. And yeah, I will. I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. Just as a final reminder, no hate, no disrespect. This is all just because I'm thinking that there's no possible way that I'm the only guy that has thought of that, or has had that kind of feeling watching some of this just pure it's empty, it's baseless. It's like it's either all this or all that. There's no nuance, there's no detail, there's no gray area, there's no shading. So I appreciate everybody who commented. I hope to see you all on some future videos and some music videos. And yeah, let's leave it there. Good night, y'all. And there will probably be many more live streams before the next 100 videos. So, and like I said, leave some comments. Let me know how it went. If the sound was good, if everything's in sync, everything's looking good, sounding good. And without further ado, I'm gonna sign off. And I have no background music, but I'm gonna figure out a way to work that out in the future. So, yeah. Good night. I'm out. Peace.